Ready for me to go
I
live?
am. But are you?
Yep.
Okay.
Because I've already hit
I
it.
assumed you did.
Hi, everybody.
Hi,
Welcome
Dr.
back.
Stewart. Oh, so close. So close.
Any O's
Ha.
so far?
That too. How you feeling, Stuart?
Good. Feeling very good today.
Good. And this is now I will say the slight caveat suggested this. I understand there's still one episode left, and it might be amazing. So this list might suddenly have to change
2 episodes left.
of this year.
Yeah, the 22nd and the 29th.
Oh, I was thinking pre-Christmas. Yeah, you're right. The New Year counts as the year, not the Christmas.
Yeah, so those last two of Prodigy might be fantastic. But
Yeah. So and we'll reserve the right to say number one, number two. But right now, I thought it would be a good time to discuss them all and see, Stuart, what our top rankings are for a very, very busy year of Star Trek. Because we've never had truly one season after another, with this much
yeah.
variety. My
Yeah.
goodness. So I thought we should...
And this seemed kind of daunting at first when
Yes.
But honestly, a few just rose to the surface in my mind, and
Yep.
it was quickly became like, oh shit, I got 10.
Yep.
I mean, there are other ones that I might kind of go, oh yeah, maybe, but these ones stood out. So
Yeah, I took like 48 and then picked out the ones that like instantly... And I was like, oh, I have 16 left. Sweet. And then worked out based on those. It's actually a lot less hard than I thought because there's a lot of medium this year.
Yeah.
That wouldn't be probably negative or positive, so of course they'll be taken out of the positive list straight away.
Yeah.
So that was a pretty straightforward for me, actually.
And Richard Joy, we just covered that. He says a bit early, but still 2 episodes of Prodigy remaining. Yes, we know. But there's a lot of content there still, so...
And they're probably going to be very serialized, so it's unlikely they're going to be best of all of the year episodes. But it was our kind of like Christmas present to you all right before the end of the year. Kind of do this sort of year in review.
Yeah.
Won't have time for New Year's.
Yeah. Casual Trekker, though, throws in $10.
Thank you.
Start out, so thank
Amazing.
You. The Strange New Worlds, A Quality of Mercy, Lower Decks, All the World's a Stage. That's Prodigy, though.
Yep.
Prodigy, Kobayashi, Lower Decks Reflections, Picard, The Stargazer, Picard, Farewell, Strange New Worlds, Strange New Worlds, Memento Mori, Strange New Worlds, Serene Squall, Lower Decks, Crisis Point 2.
Like we said, there's some obvious ones this year. There are some...
Let's see. Some might not be so obvious to other people because these are rewatchability and enjoyment factor for me.
Oh yeah,
Sure, some of them have fantastic stories, but they're depressing, and so I wouldn't necessarily seek them out. But yeah,
and I've also ignored the context around them. So if the season sucked, but the episode's great, I'm entirely removing each episode from its episode place. This is what I remember liking of these episodes, irrespective of where they fit in their season. That might be a good thing or a bad thing, but they should... These entire living on their own in my canon universe of reviewing. So, which means they might even be different if we were to do we have reviewed like top 10 Stranger Worlds episodes, etc. These might even not make sense to that, but because they might link into the overall arc more in my review logic. This is very much like specific stories on their own. These piece of 20 to 30 to 40 minute entertainment, that is what I'm reviewing and favoriting, not how it fits into the grand theme, because it's got to base it on enjoyment basically at this point for this sort of thought process. Was my thought process, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and some of them are a little older in the archives as far as my brain goes, so I might not remember everything, but
yeah,
do you remember some main elements that really stood out that made them enjoyable to me? So
well, they're best for a reason, but yeah, we are going back 12 months, and we've been reviewing Trek every single one of those weeks, so
it's a little muddled sometimes.
And let's be very honest with everybody, those 10 weeks of Discovery, what do we remember exactly? Because I looked at the 10.
Yeah,
and I was drawing... I remember big plot threads, but boy, I was struggling to remember anything specific.
Yep.
Seriously.
I remember the big overarching story and some highlights, but nothing per episode though. Like it's the yeah.
That was. I mean, honestly, same for like the middle six of Picard. I was struggling to remember
Yeah.
the driving, which is then why tomorrow, tangent Stuart, not at all related, we're gonna do our top 10 worst episodes of 2022. Now that is not saying they're terrible episodes. It's just of the set we got, what are our least favourite.
So expect all Discovery and Picard next tomorrow. That's what he's saying.
I don't want to quite spoil what's going to happen, Stuart.
But we should do top 20. Season 1, Season 2 of Picard, and Season whatever the 4 of Discovery. Boom, there you go. My top 20 worst episodes.
There's a slight quality disparity this year, yes. I'm going to go share. I'll see you back in a minute, Stuart.
Okay. 29 of you here, 16 likes. That's awesome. Hit that like button if you haven't already, though. Please help us out with super chats if you're able to. We want to hear your thoughts, your opinions on anything we say, or anything we miss, or anything you guys want to chime in on. We do read them all on the air, so please super chat in. Supports the channel, helps us out, and keeps us making this content, which is free for everyone to watch regardless. Nothing is behind a paywall, so we appreciate any help we can get. You can also join the channel. There's a join button down there. Click that, and you can select a rank, and it's like a monthly subscription service to show your support for us as well. That really helps us out, and also helps out our analytics on YouTube because it shows YouTube that you guys are interested enough to join the channel. You can also do that in another way by heading over to Patreon/Trekyards and helping us there. And please don't forget, just hit like on all the videos. You can super thanks on edited ones or this one after the fact. So those help out also. And there is links down below in the description to the Teespring, the TeePublic store, stuff like that. So you can get some cool Trekyards merch and really help us out in that regard as well. That all helps us and it helps you guys get cool stuff. So if you're able to support us in any way, we really appreciate it. Even just sharing the videos around, just showing up for the lives and taking part in the chat, it all helps us out. So we love you all, and hopefully you guys have a good holiday season. And it's almost Christmas, less than a week now, so that's always exciting. But this will be an interesting list for sure. It'll be interesting to see what Samuel picked and why. I was surprised by some of mine, but like I said, the cream easily rose to the top, and wasn't as hard as I thought it was going to be. So there's that. Tomorrow might be a different story. We'll have to see. But we encourage you to come back for tomorrow's as well. Top 10 worst episodes of 2022. Wasn't sure if we should leave with the worst or the best. I figured the best. That way if we don't get around to the worst for whatever reason, if something comes up, we've covered the best. So Tangerine Star 26 is here. He's been gone a long time. Welcome back. So, yep, it'll be interesting to see what you guys think, what your opinion is, and I'm looking forward to hearing Samuel's list for sure. So, will be a good day. Still only 21 likes. Guys, hit that like button. I'm sure we can get up to 30, no problem. There's 34 of you, so
I mean, 100 really. I'm gonna start a new poll as well.
Go for it. Go for it, my friend. But yeah, I'm good to see you back, Tangerine Star 26. It's been a while. Thank you, Todd. It's good to see you as well. Hey, Trekyards. We're lost. Just like I remember Michael Burnham and something with a Red Angel and Spock. That wasn't this season. That was not this season. Oh, we got a new poll. Oh, we had a new poll. It went away. Bum, 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 bum. Yeah, this is going to be a really good discussion. It's such a colorful thumbnail for today's. Wow. Although that's the wrong
Okay.
Spock. That's like season 2 Spock.
Well, it's Spock from the it's like from the trailer of yeah, it was like from promo. I went back to old thumbnails I had to pull stuff that's already pre worked out. So
Yeah.
it's,
So the new poll is,
yes,
which show this year had the best episodes overall? Lower Decks season 4, Picard season 2, Prodigy season 1.5, or Strange New Worlds season 1. Go vote. It's 50-50 right now. Oh, it just shifted again.
what people are gonna say.
Yeah. I'm curious what you're gonna say in this live.
I think we're gonna have different answers. I've got a gut reaction.
Yeah, I do too.
Not to say that we have different thoughts, we just have different slight variances within what we value, which is fine, obviously. Pretty interested. I'm excited.
That's good.
Yes. So you said this was an easy enough list to work out once you
Yeah.
got going.
Yeah, it seemed pretty daunting at first, but like I said, the cream very quickly rose to the top.
Yeah.
Certain ones just like, yep, boom, and then it's just a matter of organizing them in the 10 order.
Did you load up Discovery and go through due diligence, or did you pretty much say from the outset there's not going to be anything in there?
I didn't really have much time to load anything up and look.
Okay.
I tried to read some synopsis, but yeah, quickly I was like, I'm gonna move on to the other folders and see what happens.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah, I found with my Discovery stuff especially, I would like a part of the storyline and throw it as like a second part of the storyline.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, well, do I give it a 50% like free card, not free card, or say it's half is good enough to justify when other episodes have been more strong in general. So I found that was an interesting equation of where do I put the line of like not necessarily benefit of the doubt, just like is a stronger average better than a weaker half? I was led thinking, etc. But I think you should go first, Stuart, because you can surprise me. I like being surprised.
Okay. Wow.
Okay.
All right. Well, surprise.
I'm surprised.
Okay. Episode 10, or number 10 on my list,
Yes.
is Strange New Worlds, Episode 5, Spock Amok.
Yes.
Fun episode. The bug switch stuff's always great, and the cast, I think, killed it in that one. Plus, we saw some negotiations. We saw Morta Pring, which was great. I'm really beginning to like her character, and a solar sailor. I mean, there was a lot of neat stuff in that episode, and it was just fun to watch. You weren't stressed out watching it. It was just like a nice, enjoyable watch, I think. And the reactions of having switched was fantastic. Anson Mount is great. But I think everybody did such a good job in that episode. And I don't remember much of what anybody else was doing. I don't think Hemmer was in it, who had a small part.
I think this was the one where they had the cadet bucket list.
Oh, possibly.
And she
possibly.
almost shot the cadets.
Yes, it was the one. Yes, it was. Yep. Because they were on the hull and the sailor left.
Yep. There you go.
Yeah, so that was also fun to see some fun between, because I don't really like Una, and I didn't like La'an at the time, really, but it was fun to see them having fun, and it was like, yeah, okay, I like them a little more now because of that. So you're right, yeah, the B story there was also kind of fun.
And it's quite ambitious to do a out of ship anything. Yeah. That's already a bold. Oof, doing that, cool.
Especially the way they did it with just to make a force field. It's like, really? Damn. Okay, cool.
Very much.
Yeah, I really enjoyed Spock and Mock, so there you go. That's my number 10.
Yeah.
Murloc disagrees, but I mean, you're going to disagree. We all have, it's all subjective, right?
So, yeah, there is not a definitive list here. There can't be. It's just out of all of the, what do we find, like 50, 47? Yeah. And it will be very interesting to go back at the end of this and say how many of each show got on the list, because that I think is worth noting as well. Yeah. I had put two honorable mentions that I really wanted to put on my 10, but I couldn't. So I really want to call those out first. My first honorable is last week's episode of Prodigy, Mind Walk, which is kind of fun to have one that was...
It almost made my list, yeah.
There we go. Because Kate was so good, like that was the acting decider, but it just didn't quite have the cool stuff. But the fact that last week was almost 10th best out of the year, very impressive. And my other honourable was the final episode of Picard, because it had like 3 scenes of really good quality and 3 scenes of utter trash. And the trash is so trash, the good is pretty damn good. And just because Q said bye is not a reflection on the show being good, it's just on a TNG cast reunion being good, 2 good actors. So I can't give it really a top 10 for that, despite those scenes being good. So those got my almost in, but they couldn't get in. So my actual number 10, Stuart, is Mining the Mind's Mines.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so this one is the Lower Decks episode, which I didn't want to spoil stuff, so some of these thumbnails are quite hard to work out. So this one is the episode where in Lower Decks, they have gone to a colony with rock people, and the rock people and the humans there are bickering. There's these orbs that make people hallucinate and die, and the crew sent to go and work them out, etc. Not only do you get a second California class with the learned reality that actually Cerritos is a celebrity in the community, which is fun. You get our leads working together because they're working against another Cerritos crew, which is always nice to see. You get Leah Brahms back, which is a nice reference in itself. You get a lot of really good Jen and Mariner stuff, which is really strong. You get the Tiana, Mixamo, and Tendi stuff, which is okay, but has a nice payoff. You get the young and old captain fun. You get the end thing, which is fun. This, for me, when looking at the whole list, it was a very classic Star Trek story, delivered in a way we haven't seen before, which respects the past by having things like the speeder bike thing, which is a TOS looking thing, and I guess the past of like Nemesis Admiral uniform, but also evolving a lot of the characters, seeing what they like, what they don't like, via their hallucinations, having the great twist at the end, which was really fun to see, and it was a strong pace, and while it was a little bit silly in one bit of it, it was a fun episode that I think as just a classic Star Trek tale was nice, with a nice bit of character depth as well, which they don't always do. So when they do it's like, yes, good job. So that's going to get my 10 for its simple effectiveness and classic Star Trek-ness.
Yeah, it definitely had a TNG type vibe to the story structure and whatnot. So yeah, I can see that. That was one of my least favorite, if I recall correctly. Just in regards to the rest of the season, but yeah, no, it was a fun enough ride for sure. And yeah, the hallucinations are always fun too. Any kind of alternate reality or like things like that are great. So,
but when I say that, it sounds better than you remember it, doesn't it?
Yep.
Like what it tried to do and did is why I like it. Yep. I still remember I was worried they were gonna have the hallucinations linger way too long and the clowns be a big deal. No, minimally done. And the single joke of Boimler trying to call the ship and then the other lady's trying to call her ship, so they're both intercomming each other because they can't talk over each other and the combat just can't work out who's who. And I'm sorry, you go first. No, you go first. It's just it's fun. It's fun.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So it's 2 fun kind of episodes for our number 10 slot.
Yep.
That's good.
Mm-hmm. All right, you're number 9. Yes.
My number 9 is
Discovery episode 4, season 4 episode
Strange New Worlds.
Oh.
Season 1, episode 8, The Elysian Kingdom. I got another fun one. And seeing the characters play against type, like Pike was amazing. Everybody was kind of amazing in that one.
Yeah,
honestly.
they were.
Hemmer was fantastic. Got to actually see Hemmer doing something. And just, it was also a gut-wrenching episode as well with the daughter at the end. And
you relate to that especially because you have a daughter.
Yeah. Being a parent, it kind of like it's a fun episode, but at the end there, it's kind of like, oof, that's a tough decision, and sure everything works out, but it's one of those sad things. It's happy but sad at the same time. Like, so I think it was really well handled, really well executed. I think Mbonga was kind of fun in that episode as well, and I think everybody got some good screen time except for Nurse Chapel, which is a bit of a shame. She didn't get much.
She got a great scene though with the scanning thing and trying to be one step forward, be very open to all science stuff. So I think she got a fun but limited, yes, for sure.
Yeah, and it also made me really appreciate La'an more which
How many assets, Stuart? How many assets?
it's true. It's true, yeah. And anything that can make me like a character more, I really appreciate.
Yep.
So I don't know. I ended up liking her by the end of the season, and I did not like her at the beginning. So
I think this is why I said "told you so" with her character. I was
yeah,
like, "I told you."
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
I really like that.
So yeah, this was just a fun romp. So the first two on my list are just like fun, kind of weird episodes. But honestly, Pike again, Ensign Mount, and this one was also fantastic. I was talking about his reactions to Spock and to bring in the last episode. Well, this one, just him playing against type was amazing. I think Spock was a little underplayed with his role, but
But did you need him as well?
No, didn't.
Exactly.
No,
Yeah.
No.
I was happy to get everyone
That's
else,
great.
apart.
Like
Yeah.
Uhura as the villain was
Yeah.
awesome. So like,
Yeah.
again, it's a fun ride, and
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. So there you go. Number 9.
Yeah, this wasn't on my list at all because it could be an often complaint you have. This could be any sci-fi show with the idea of changing realities. It's not. I mean, it's quite TOS-y in that respect, but it's could be any other sci-fi show. It could be TNG, it could be Voyager. It's not unique to this thing, so it wasn't going to get on my list just because of there are other more Star Trek stories I enjoyed more.
Yeah,
but still good, still enjoyable. Although I think the second watch, I was like, I've seen it all. It's a bit duller the second time because once you know the twist, I seem to remember it wasn't quite as fun the second time. But yeah, but still, yeah, still good. Just this is a top list. And Donnie says I voted for Prodigy season 1B since that show is my number 1 modern Star Trek show. Used to be number 2. Interesting. And the poll currently has 40 votes. And oh god, which show this year the best overall? And for the record, guys, almost no poll ever gets a 0%. That is extremely rare. Stranger Worlds 50%, Lower Decks 30%, Prodigy 20%, Picard
0. And Discovery's not on there. We should do another poll. Which is better, Discovery season 4 or Picard season 2?
That would be an interesting poll. 0% has really never happened. That's actually quite surprising. But also not surprising. Okay, number 9. So that's 2 Stranger Worlds. Interesting.
Yep.
My number 9, though, is Prodigy. All the World's Stage. This is, now I can show the spoiler thumbnail, Stuart, that I made first time. He said, don't do that. And I said, well, Trek Culture did it. He said, shut up. Fine. Yeah. I can show it finally after months. So this one beats the other one because it has more Star Trekiness in it. But this is a surprisingly well-structured story for what could be taken as a look references, but it kind of isn't. It's a sort of historical drama in its own right, as in this history of old Starfleet leading to a problem in the modern. But the faithfulness to TOS was beautiful. The pacing's really strong. There's a one problematic thing with like the start, I believe, or something that wasn't quite as good, but the ending makes up for it hugely. The creation of the alien race is very well done, very clever. Yeah, it's just a really fun romp. This is one that really should have been 40 minutes. Like, to expand this story needed to have been longer to be higher on my list. Like it's all the raw potential of a bigger story. They just had to burn it in a 26-minute whatever, you know. So that's sort of the only complaint. Really. It should have been longer. But I mean, very proud number 9. Yeah.
Yeah, this one was really fun for me. It is on my list. Spoilers.
Oh yeah, sure it is.
So I don't want to say too much about it, but
that's fine.
Yeah, it's it's going to be on my list, right? TOS and all that.
How do you think about my?
And Aaron Walken's great. Oh, yours is I totally agree with that. The problems in it, there are a few of them, but then hearing Aaron's explanation, it solves most of them, except for like the uniform thing.
Which changes between shots as well, which makes it just a funny goof. Like sometimes you're like, oh, are they making a JJ Cannon reference? No, just someone goofed, just put the wrong model in.
Oh, and no communicator on that one as well. Anyway, whatever. So hearing Aaron's explanation for some of the quote-unquote plot holes. Yeah. Oh, okay, you just didn't have time to put that in. You thought about it at least, so that's awesome.
And it almost makes you wonder and appreciate, wouldn't it be great if Picard or Discovery come out and said, yeah, we know we messed up that, rather than being entirely... I mean, Picard Season 2 a little bit different, Terry, and 3 certainly will be different, but like them announcing... Like, imagine if Discovery said, I wish the season been better because we had COVID problems. We'd all respect them so hard. Same for Picard season 2. Like, yeah, we wanted this scene to not just be in a alleyway. Like,
Yeah.
admitting you made a mistake is a really strong thing to do as an artist. But a mistake because of this. Doesn't have to be your fault, but admit you didn't do as good as you could have done. It would be such a strong move if they ever went that way.
An even stronger move would be to have an ad.
Would be, yep.
So there you go.
Okay, I feel a strong move towards
Buying that thing that just happened.
Yeah. That thing. Yep. That thing. I use them all the time. That thing. Do you, Stuart?
Yes, absolutely. I use them like twice on Sundays. You know.
That's a lot. Okay.
Every other day of the week is just once.
I use a third of one every fortnight, but okay.
Oh, damn.
I mean, you know, or whatever.
I have no idea what we're talking about.
Nope.
We don't see the ads.
Nope.
And they change all the time.
Speaking of change, though, Stuart, you're number 8.
Ooh, my number 8. This is Lower Decks season 3 episode.
Okay.
It
Did not think
was
this would be on the list. Okay,
the,
that's cool.
Yeah, it was fun seeing the Texas classes get their asses handed to them by a bunch of Cerritos chips. Actually, the warp core ejection bomb. I mean, fantastic.
Yeah.
Seeing Admiral Buenamigo get killed in his office, blown away.
Yeah.
Sure, there were other little plot holes here and there in this one too, but honestly, just seeing the Texas class ships fire up and just start decimating the starbase, and yeah, I mean, there's things in this that I've wanted to see for a while, like that warp core ejection, that warp and the explosion, and we know Shrax wanted to see that as well. Yeah, I don't know. Something about this one just made me say, I should put this one on the list.
Interesting.
Going back and looking at them, I think maybe I should have put Rutherford's backstory here, honestly, but because there's also a good episode. But for some reason, this one just fell into the slot, and you know, like I said, I didn't necessarily nail down everything I could have about every episode to really. But anyway, here we are. There it is.
Interesting. Yeah. Also,
hard enough.
Also not on my list just because it wasn't a satisfying payoff for the setup episode as much as it could have been. And yes, the end moment was epic, but it didn't quite live up to the last season finales. That's probably such a high quality show. When you fall flat of your expectations slightly, it's a little disappointing. But yeah, certainly the Van Sitters showing up and sovereigning for a few seconds. The Cerritos was still a nice moment for sure. Buenamigo, we called him, both being good and bad throughout, was pretty interesting. Yeah, just we didn't have quite the pep I was expecting. The end, I remember, Boimler, was that was the previous one? There was a sting. Oh, the green tractor beam for the
for Peanut Hamper.
No, for Badgie.
Oh, Badgie.
Real
yes.
Badgie.
That's a Rutherford's implant. Yeah.
Yeah, but this one I don't know, just didn't. All I think of it, I think this episode is a big space battle that doesn't quite. It's like, okay, but is that it? You know, although the war room and seeing Earth was great, but just
What about seeing ships at warp, real warp, being chased by other ships?
It's good. I mean, I make that all the time, Stuart, for fan films. So for me, it's.
I know.
Like I expect.
You just
that
never
visual.
see it anymore.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Hey, I like it. My number 8 though is of course Prodigy. We're going back to start of the year, episode 7 of Prodigy. This is the one with the Ferengi ship, which is better than the one from the show. We liked it better.
First Contact?
Yes, Contact, your man. Yeah. And this actually is even better in retrospect, now knowing that Dahl's a test tube baby. This one was great at the time because it's a very simple, pure story of First Contact and kids trying to do their good job. But the way they do it is so beautiful and elegant and simple yet effective that it still grabs me as a well done show for achieving a truly magnificent First Contact and relaying it to the kids who are watching the show, how important it is, how reverent you need to be, when it goes wrong, repercussions, feel it. And yet also having, because that would have been a good but a bit bland, having the Dahl stuff, having the Ferengi stuff, all adds the Trek canon, because it could have been any race that knew Dahl, but have it Ferengi, have it be Decora, adds depth that the show needs. It fires on all cylinders, and this one really is like a really good story. Absolutely.
And true aliens. Like, it was quite an interesting take on that. And the Marauder, the Decora class.
Beautiful.
The fantastic.
Yeah,
So,
just really, really good episode all around.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And a good storyline with the Ferengi and Dal, for sure. So,
yeah.
Totally agree.
Yeah.
Good call.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Guys, super chat. I forgot to read Tangerine Star 26. Hold on. Member for 27 months in the rank of Commander.
Thank you.
Work and life kept me away. So much catching up. You well? Yeah, we're very well. Thank you for asking.
Yes.
Hope you're also well.
Yes.
But good to see your name back in the chat.
Yes.
But I'm going to remind everybody else, if you want to super chat, we'd really appreciate it because we need it.
Yes.
We want to hear your thoughts on what we're saying, as well as what your favorite episodes are as well. So, and why.
Yeah, and $2, it adds, it goes places,
Absolutely.
Yeah, makes a big difference. And just what you think of our scores, because we want you to. There's 44 of you watching. Let us know your top 10. Like, this is in theory a big end of the year thing. So let us know. Yeah.
All right. My number 7. Dun, 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 dun. Lord X, Season 3, Episode 8.
Oh, yes, the tiny
Crisis
thumbnail.
Point. Yeah. Crisis Point 2, Paradoxics.
Yes.
The second part of the movie, essentially. We got Crisis Point in the first one. But this one, you got the Sovereign, you've got Tendi being a badass. You got the references to like the god from Star Trek 5.
And V'Ger.
The Kitty Hawk V'Ger thing, yeah.
Which still makes me happy on the inside.
Kitaya, yeah. And just seeing how the holodeck deals with situations like that. And we got to assume that the California class holodecks aren't like as good as the ones on the Galaxy class.
Although which did they use? Because they use both the Voyager and the TNG holodecks, as annoying as that is.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. But
sorry, just to remind you.
Yeah, and of course, Knick Knack. I mean, one of my favorite Lower Deck characters ever. Yeah, I am Knick Knack. With his reveal, we got Klingons in that one as well. It was just a pretty fantastic ride. Yeah, that's where Knick Knack kicks ass, is on the Klingon bridge.
No. That was you're thinking of the freighter that the Klingons are on in Star Trek TNG Season 1 that they reused. It wasn't a Klingon freighter, it was a freighter, and they were the cult people.
There was a Klingon in this episode, at least one on the crew. No? Okay, never mind. Mm-hmm. Anyway, Knick Knack kicks ass.
Yes.
And it looks like a pretty cool bridge anyway. I thought it was a Klingon bridge. Regardless. Even references to the jailbreak from Star Trek 5. A lot of nice little nods. And then, of course, the widescreen black bar at the bottom.
Oh, yes.
Mariner has to step over. To top it all off, we got Boimler and his Boimler clone, who's supposedly dead. Turns out no. Post-credits scene.
Yep.
Defiant type ship decloaking. And the Section 31 reference, even making fun of the black badges from Discovery.
Bold choice.
I love that.
Bold choice, them. Yeah.
Yeah, they made quite a few little references, even to the Kelvin timeline earlier, like younger actors playing.
Yeah, that's true.
Versions of ourselves.
I forgot that. Yeah,
so, lots of fun stuff in this one. Yep, I absolutely love Crisis Point ones. Those episodes are always great. Looking forward to one being in every season.
Well, every other season, because there wasn't one last year.
Oh, that's true too. Shit. Anyway. We need to see Tendi and Rutherford's version of Crisis Point.
Yes.
At some point. So.
Yes, we do.
There you go.
Yeah, this one's still a tricky one for me because it didn't live up to the last time. And as I said to you at the time, half the story is about literally filling time. And that's the point of the storyline. You're kind of wasting your story time a bit. But the stuff that's good, yes, sounds good. There's just a lot of drag on this one as well.
Yeah.
But good. I kind of thought it'd be high on your list, honestly, because you did like the movie vibe.
Mm-hmm.
But cool.
I think you might be surprised by my list.
Yeah, no, yeah, many surprises. Okay, my number 7 then is finally a Strange New Worlds. The first Stranger Worlds, called Stranger Worlds.
Stranger Worlds. Yeah.
Still a real standout in that season because it is a great pilot, as in establishing episode. It's a great single story. It's a great canon reference with the Eugenics War, and the discussion of that is a great character piece with everyone being given something to do. It's got a really great end, very classic TOS moral with a great speech. It's well written. The makeup's great. Knowing it was filmed high in the pandemic and then balancing, do a crowd shot near the end of the pandemic. They just managed to fit it in. It was great to know, etc. And it surprised us with entirely acknowledging Pike's past, which we did not think they were going to do. T'Pring was a great addition. Yeah, it was firing all cylinders, and it was a shockingly good piece of media, considering what we were expecting, at least potentially expecting, with Akiva Goldsman being in charge. And, as we know, coming off Picard Season 1, Episode 10, after a slog of 5 in a row, of like, oh, this fucking show. And then an okay end, and then seeing this in the same day and be like, oh my god, the disparity in quality is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. Like, that's how real stories should be told. Holy shit.
Yeah, this one stands out for its return to form, like the episodic, and it had a very TOS vibe to the story, beaming down to the planet, going in disguise. Got a single nacelled ship, although that raises a whole bunch of questions.
Yeah.
With like 4 crew or whatever.
They still did some classic Discovery bullshit, but but
yeah, I mean, the whole disguise process, like disguising themselves to look like the aliens.
Yeah.
That causing Spock to like freak out at one point. And some great visuals. I mean, we saw the tricorder, a nice close up of the tricorder, very true to the TOS one. It was a return to that episodic storytelling, and it felt very TOS. So,
and I think it's that time really refreshing.
Yes.
Just boy.
As you said, coming off of Picard, yes. 100%.
It was the nightest of nights, finding the dayest of days. It was it really stands out. And to have the first episode be that good, that doesn't always happen in these shows, ostensibly. Mm-hmm. So I thought that was very good. Yeah.
Excellent. Well, guys, I'm going to remind you guys again, please super chat in. We really appreciate it. We need the support, so if you can, please do. Hit that like button. We have 44 people here with 35 likes. We could probably get to 50 quite easily if you hit that like button.
Yes.
If you haven't done so already. And vote on the poll.
Yes. Remember, this is how we pay our rent and for Christmas, and we're doing quite bad this month, so, we rely on this stuff, guys, so help us out if you want to see more. Like doing a top 10 worst tomorrow.
Yes.
Because that'll be a whole different discussion, Stuart.
Yes, it's a whole different vibe and feel.
Yes.
Yeah.
But, is there a different vibe for your 6th favourite?
Probably.
Probably.
My 6th is Picard, Season 2, Episode 2, Penance.
Yes.
This was a Confederation episode where we saw all the alternates, kind of like the Terran Empire almost of the Picard timeline, I guess. Confederation thing.
More fascist than murdery, but yes.
Yeah. You got the World Razor Enterprise. You got to see a whole bunch of cool stuff in Picard's office. Skulls of Dukat and, it's just, wow.
And we saw those skulls, didn't we, in real life as well? You definitely did at the convention.
I did at Chicago, yeah.
Yeah. I feel like I saw them somewhere, but I probably didn't.
They look great. So yeah, this was fun. I do like alternate reality type stuff. I do like that kind of thing. So this one, as much as it was a dark dystopian kind of thing going on, it was fun watching the characters explore their new surroundings and try to figure things out. With Seven being the president essentially, and her husband kind of like, what's going on? And then of course Q, with the mad kind of the mad vibe going on. and the small little references he made, like this ain't no yesterday's Enterprise or whatever he said, stuff like that was really good. I think and then I think this is the one where he slaps Picard, which is very out of character for him, and so it's like you got this tinge of what the hell's going on with Q, and it seems dangerous, and they're just in a dark place, so. Yeah, and the Borg Queen reveal again too. The Borg Queen was fantastic in this episode. I don't know. This was just a fun one, and like I said, my favorite thing was Picard's office. Honestly, the skulls, the props, all the phasers. We analyzed all those, and they're all like really cool references. So, lots to look at in this episode.
Yeah, this one's so tricky because this one pulls with me all the baggage of the season. And it's really hard to think away from this because this one has so much promise. Knowing that the whole secret is Thingy's dying and wants to show Patrick something, he could have told him. Like, his vibe here does not at all fit with his vibe later, like why and if, and it's like there's a huge disconnect of logic, tone.
But I just remember going into it, like the first episode was good, this one was
great,
and we're like, wow, okay, it's gonna be good. And then I didn't take into account the rest of the season judging this one, because I remember coming off this one going, that's pretty great. I'm looking forward to seeing where this goes.
This one, I feel too much of the twinge of all the cool stuff in this is not utilized, so it's all fault. That's just me, but this one's so like, this is the season of story, and it's all sort of thrown away a bit. Tricky.
Yeah,
wow, Holy Gabriel.
Crazy. Fought and killed, yeah. Ducat's skull and Grand Negus's skull.
Visually gorgeous.
Sarek's skull.
Ugh.
Who's gorgeous? What?
No, Holy Gabriel says season 1 and 2 Picard both are visually gorgeous, and that no one can argue that.
I can argue it.
I mean, the Borg cube looked gross, and the bar looked pretty tacky, and as in the murder bar, and
Yep.
What other locations they have, Stuart? Because they reuse the same ones a lot. That one
Picard season 1.
The one room that I pointed out was every other room because they were cheap. From how Soji or Daj, whoever it was, fought the Romans because they thought a bag over her head would be enough to knock her out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, Mark Lawrence throws in $5. So thank you for the super chat, my friend. We haven't been doing good with super chats today. Just send over a PayPal gift to help you with those end of the year numbers. Wow, thank you.
Which we
Mark.
we have a problem with. Let me go look at that.
Lower Decks number 1, season 3, episode 6 for me, with Prodigy number 2, where Jenkin's speech pattern is explained. Oh, really?
Yeah, really?
Preludes.
Some of it's good.
Yeah, for sure.
So much isn't as good. Well, shit. I'm not going to read that out loud. Huh.
Well, I'll just take a look myself then. But thank you, Mark.
That's going to bounce.
You're a gentleman and a scholar.
That is
and
going to bounce some books.
YouTube channels.
Yes, okay. I'll just wait for Stuart's reaction.
That'll help. Thank you, sir. That's good.
My well shit is definitely justified. Right. If that was a super chat, which obviously good, I'm glad it wasn't, because that's would have. Boy, if that was a super chat, that would have fucking sliced a third right out of that. Frickin' hell.
Yeah, thank you, Mark. That's awesome.
I will split that as soon as it's done, and that will cover much for Christmas. You get a salute, Mr. President.
Yeah, Federation President, sir. Thank you, sir.
We know they don't use money in the future, but boy, in the present, dear me. Okay. Your number 6. Fair enough. This has been more of the season. Pisses me off.
I know. It was a good start. It was a
a great start.
And then,
my number 6 is Lower Decks. No, yes, season 3, episode 1. The Escape. Now, also, in a weird vein, similar to what you just had, this one promised a potentially different season arc, which then got abandoned instantly, which is very confusing, because now knowing the season, it's like, oh, they were never going to continue that arc, really. That wasn't the point of it. Almost as if they swapped writers and just said, "Oh, we're gonna ignore this." But it's a really unique episode that holds up out of the season because, of course, Cochrane and Phoenix, beautiful to see him again after sort of 20 years. That was very well handled and funny with Gavin, genuinely funny. Transporter guy, sweet, funny, entertaining. The vibes on Earth with everyone being super chill is nice to see and unusual. Mariner being both OP and yet defeatable is nice because she's trying really hard, but she's no longer the season 1 badass of she doesn't have emotions. So that was really nicely development. And then to round off, to hear our emotions with, we're all screwed. Oh wait, the mum's fine because Tuvok and Guy from Cheers came to the rescue, and like this epic montage just leaves us such a boisterous wow. Doesn't matter, it's animated stills. Really, really strong end. It's just a bit sad there wasn't quite a season of, she could have taken Cerritos and went somewhere and done something. But there are so many good scenes, even if the construction of the episode is a bit weird. Those segments, as I just listed off, are all really strong. Just for some reason they combine a bit of a weird way. But the ideas are good there. So it's got to be in my top 10.
Yeah, okay. This one was, this version of expectations at the end there. I love seeing Bateson and stuff back, and Mariner just doing everything to prove that her mom is innocent, and yet everybody's telling her just trust the system. Because usually you can't trust the system in these shows.
Which, in fairness, by the end of the season, Admiral, I mean, yet again.
Exactly. But then, even the turn later in the season of her mom not just assuming that she had said these bad things and sent her to Starbase 80. Whereas Mariner was fighting so hard for her here.
Yep.
Yeah. This one I went into expecting something completely different.
Yep.
The whole stealing the Cerritos, I was expecting this to at least 2-3 episodes maybe.
Yep.
But no, it was very quickly wrapped up in a nice little bow. Let's move on with something else, please. So, it was
a weird.
And then of course all of the Phoenix and Zephyr Cochrane and Boisman, Montana. It was all great to see that stuff. So, and I forget the guy's name. What was the guy's name that took the Phoenix?
Gavin.
There you go.
So wait, did I just make a connection that it's Bozeman, Montana, and Batesman came on the USS Bozeman?
What's that? Oh, I don't think there's any relation. No.
But that sounds like they knew that because they could pull anybody for that, and it didn't have to be Captain Batesman of Bozeman.
Yeah.
As opposed to Bozeman, Montana. That's absolutely deliberate because that's the sort of cheeky thing they would do, just for the lols. Huh.
Yeah. Tangerine Star 26 puts in £2. Thank you so much. Card Season 3 said to be very good.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Secret Hideout doing better. What? Secret Hide? Sec Hide?
No, we are excited about it. There is.
We've heard some good things.
Unfortunately, we've now been very hyped. Let's be honest.
After I saw the trailer, I was kind of let down again. So
also true.
I'm not extremely hyped. So
this is super true. Okay, fair enough.
Spectre Angel of Vengeance says, Captain, I wanted to tell you real quick. I watched the Trekyards episodes on the Galaxy Clash as you recommended. I do before. Thank you for the recommendation. I had a lot of questions answered. May I ask someone in the chat who knows a lot on ships a question real quick, please? Shoot out a question. I'm sure people will try to answer it. Blue might even jump on it.
Yeah, sure.
But glad you enjoyed the episodes. I told you there's a lot of answers in that Galaxy Class episodes. Those are good.
We've done a lot of stuff over the years on a lot of different topics, and I don't think we even remember half of it.
Yeah, bro.
It's been a long old road, Stuart, going from 8 years ago to here.
It's true.
Dear me. Yeah, yes. Yeah, cool. Your number 5, then?
My number 5 is Picard, Season 2, Episode 1, The Stargazer.
Only number 5? Ooh, okay.
Number 5.
Okay.
Chill out,
Okay.
dude. This was going into this from Season 1. This was just like a breath of fresh air. Cold water splashed on the face. You're like, this is it. We got Star Trek Online ships. We got a fleet. This is going to be a great season. Yes. We got to see Rios is captain of the Stargazer. The new Stargazer was a fantastic looking ship. Lots of great stuff in this one. There's lots of problems as well, but that's okay. Like the Discovery shuttle in one scene, and then whatever. But hey, that's okay. It's all good. We got this. They got this with the fleet, and using Star Trek Online assets, and having every ship named. Dave Blass on board. Dave Blass loves Star Trek. He shared all this stuff with us on Twitter when this was coming out. It was an overload of information, and I was like, okay, this season's going to be fantastic. No, there was a season's worth of stuff in like 1 or 2 episodes. So it fell down after that. But episode 1, I was just like, yes. After season 1, this is fantastic. This is what they needed to do. Thank you. We're back. And then episode 2 came out, and it's like, okay, good. And then, well, then somebody tied their shoes together, and they tripped and fell on their face in a mud puddle, and then drowned for a couple minutes before getting out and kind of dusting themselves off and running to the finish line. Yeah. So anyway, it's number 5 on my list. I was surprised it was on the list, honestly, but it made it.
I mean, Stuart, this one we were giving like 9.5s, so I thought it was going to be in our top 3. I don't remember where I put it, honestly. So
you're still comparing Picard to Strange New Worlds, Prodigy, and Lower Decks.
Yeah, but I like.
Discovery. I should mention Discovery.
Well, but I like Captain Picard more than I like any of the Strange New World cast, or probably the Lower Decks cast. Almost every character I like Picard more than. So, you know, it's just him done better for one episode was worth a lot, versus not done well for a whole season. Interesting.
Metallica fan 1442 has joined the channel at the rank of Commander.
Welcome. What a Christmas present as well. Thank you.
Yes. Those channel memberships are really important, so if you guys can, click that join button and check them out.
Metallica fan, let us know what you think of our choice. And Ozzy says you can smoke on the bridge. No, Rios never lights it.
Nope.
It's a very subtle choice, and everyone commented, but if you look, he never does. It's purely a reactionary. He's doing something with his hands. He never lights it. There's never any fire from either. So it's a very small note, but they did at least not do that. Although in fairness, they might have, they're probably not going to actually do a lit cigar on set and have the smoke be a problem. So it'd probably been digital anyway, and they might have thought in post, let's maybe not have the smoke on the bridge, so just not have the effects in. So that could easily be it as well. But no, he never actually does anything with it. Interesting. Interesting.
Just looking to see if Spectre, Angel of Vengeance has asked their question, and they haven't yet.
Oh yeah.
So.
Get on that.
We're waiting. Paying attention.
Yeah.
For once.
So I'm going to end the poll though at 72 votes, because I'd like to know another one. Which show this year, 2022, had the best episode overall? The winner, although it hasn't moved much, so everyone kind of thought the same, 51% Strange New Worlds, 28% Lower Decks, 18% Prodigy, and we've now gained 3% for Picard Season 2!
One vote.
Yeah, it's probably one vote, yeah. Okay, 51%, okay. You know what poll I'm going to do next year? Let's see what people say.
Yep, I'm excited to see the results of this one. So in the meantime, while he's doing that, guys, 54 of you here, 40 likes. Let's get those likes up to 50. If you haven't hit that like button yet, and I know some of you haven't, clearly, hit that like button. Let's get up to 50. And we still need super chats, so we want to hear your thoughts on what we've said about these episodes. If you have any disagreements or you agree with us, let us know. Even just a couple of bucks here and there it all adds up and helps out. So anything you guys can help out with, we'd really appreciate.
Although Mark, of course, saved the week.
He did.
But,
he did.
Doesn't mean you can't help him save the week.
Yeah. Still doesn't help us out on the actual Google payday, but hey.
Well, no.
Yeah.
Okay, so my number 5.
Oh, hold on. Before you do that.
Okay.
Spectre, Angel of Vengeance says I'm still looking up something from my question first. Oh, okay. I just wanted to put that out there. Hopefully,
We're paying attention. We know what's up. We got this.
What's up?
Oh, the ceiling, Stuart. Come on, be serious.
Oh,
Pay
That's
attention.
actually a floor. That's like
Yes, your Canadian underground.
mhm,
How
mhm.
many houses are like linked? Do you think underground wise?
All of them. We all have secret passages to other all of our neighbors.
What?
Yeah, it's true.
Wow, didn't know that. So is that how the mooses get between the houses for the weekly? Uh, um,
Plural of moose is moose.
Fuck off. For the weekly, uh, maple syrup christening. Every week you have to get christened
Yep,
again. Canadian.
yep, yep. That's exactly why. Exactly how.
On the Ross class. Is Ross class a Star Trek Online one? Yes, we did. No, that was part of our overall episode. But we're gonna have Thomas on talk about that, so we'll probably do that as part of the January Stowe month. Stuart, read the poll and let's see if we can make people's brains hurt a little bit, because it's probably going to a little bit.
Which was better, Picard season 2 or Discovery season 4?
What would you say if you had to pick?
Oh, Jesus. It's a tough question because, like I said, episode 1, 2, and 10 of Picard are pretty good. The rest is just shit. And then let's a little bit of good stuff in there. There's just some corn mixed in that shit. But Discovery is just so forgettable. Good story, good payoff to the last episode, but it's just Casino Planet episode. Remember that?
I do. We spent 30 minutes watching them not do a thing.
And here's Spectre Angel of Vengeance's question.
Excellent.
Is the California class considered in the same line of ship class family as the Galaxy class, Nebula class, Cheyenne class, New Orleans class, Challenger class, and Freedom class? And, well, those are all their own classes, and it is a lower end support ship. That's its rank. The Galaxy class is like a heavy cruiser, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
They all have their own designations, so no is the answer.
I would agree with that. Yeah, I mean, not even close. It's closer to, honestly, it's closer to like a modern Miranda in terms of its current role, which is ship that does things.
Yeah.
Which is fine. It's fun to see variations on the fleet. And if you mean in the same era, because they're all on that style, it would be, I think they say it's before Galaxy just.
Yeah, it's a little bit older than the Galaxy class.
Yeah, that's why it has vibes for its own thing. But because it's like the O'Birth, like that doesn't look like the refit or Miranda. But it's just for a different purpose. So when you have things that are that different,
yeah,
they can look more different.
Yeah, it's like the early TNG aesthetic.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cool. My number 5 then, Stuart, is, of course, let's surprise myself with the answer. Oh, okay, I didn't include it. Well, shit. My number 5 is also just Picard season 2, episode 2, Penance. So, despite reminding you a bit, I also voted it higher than yours, in fact. That's funny. Let's see what I thought when I wrote this a bit ago. While still being lacking of future payoffs, I mean, we were so excited because they put money into this one, it felt like. The Borg Queen was budget. The fact they reused the concert hall from the first episode with the Academy was a very clever and expensive feeling reshoot, as in redress. That went really good. Patrick being decisive and in control was great, following from episode 1. He was, I'm the man with the plan. I'm going to get back in time. I'm going to be the one doing the podium stuff. I'm going to not shoot the Borg Queen. I'm going to really, really fun seeing me evil and not in a stupid French way was great. Q with dialogue is good and implying this greater thing which never pays off particularly. Yeah, the war room of stuff, each prop being an effort that they didn't have to put in. You know, it could have been 3 things. You know, so much money put into this for it to kind of go nowhere. At least the main stuff. And you know, they should have spent 5 episodes here. They should have spent a lot of time. They built all the stuff. I even liked the first man, was it first lady? What's it called? First gentleman. What's it called?
Oh, like Seven's husband.
Yeah, like he was even like good. It was interesting. It was going on places.
And that's Soji's dad in real
Yeah.
life. The actress's dad.
That's who it was. Yeah. No, it had so much good ideas going in, and for a show to take the idea of the mirror universe somewhat, but not feel like the mirror universe is quite an achievement because that's such a fine line. So good job them as well. Yeah, it stands out. It was firing on all creative cylinders. Just, and it even made me like the Doctor, because she had some good scenes, and Seven was pretty good. You know, everyone had reason to be there and was doing good. Yeah, but also it's using Trek canon, because it used the war room of really cool props and costumes. It was using the canon of the show. Still shocking we never saw a World Raider. What was it called?
World Razor.
World Raider. Like a flashback with it.
Yeah.
There are things that you obviously would have done, should have done, that they didn't do. That were like, but why is this not in the scene or season? But so they ran out of money, I guess, because the whole season felt cheap. Still good though.
Yeah, like we said at the time, we should have spent a little more time here, because it's one episode in this, and then they go back in time, and then we spend the whole. I can go outside and experience what they experienced in Picard.
Yeah, because I would have
the season.
Like, they could have spent 4 episodes here, and it wouldn't have felt like padding. It would have been like, oh, that's cool. But they spent 1, and 1 second of the other one.
Yeah.
It's like, but why are you burning through this? This is good stuff. It's interesting. Why you do, show? Why you do? It know not why it do, Stuart. They just do because they were paid to do.
But it gave us a good episode, so we gotta be thankful for that.
Yes. Okay. Well, there you go. I surprised myself there, Stuart.
Yep. That's at our halfway mark. We both give it our number 5s. We're at the halfway mark of the live, but we're very down on Super Chat. So if you guys can throw in anything, that'd be great. A couple 5s, a couple 10s. We don't hear your thoughts. We do read them all on the air. So if you want to have your voice heard, we can make that happen.
Yes. But Metallica says, just a follow-up to the poll. Discovery Season 4 was boring, in my honest opinion, and hated how they resolved it in like one or 2 issues. Loved Alternate Universe in Picard Season 2. Yes.
Yeah, the majority. Well, it's the problem with both Picard and Discovery. They were both majorly. Most of the time, it was boring.
Yes.
So.
It doesn't help I don't like almost any of the characters. Because good characters being engaging is good, but when they're not very engaging either, it's a problem. Mm-hmm. All right, Stuart, your number 4.
All right, my number 4 is Prodigy, Season 1, Episode 6, Kobayashi.
So 2 Walkies in one list.
Mm-hmm.
Good for him.
Which is the other Walkie?
Was my one.
Oh, the World's Stage, yes.
Yeah, we have 2 lists. Sorry, I ment like we've said both of Aaron's episodes on our lists.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
I love Aaron because I think he has the same appreciation for Trek that I do, because these are the kind of shows that I would make. So, seeing the Enterprise D Bridge, having Dal try to beat the Kobayashi Maru multiple ways. You got to see Uhura, you got to see Crusher, you got to see Scotty, you got to see Odo, you got to see Spock, you got to see Klingons. I mean, what's not to like? Plus, the display of all the comm badges, which raised a few questions, but hey, it was still fantastic. It was a fun episode again. This is like the kind of stuff I live for, seeing the old aesthetics, the old shows come back, look proper, look how they should, and the fact that they included some audio clips of the actors. Yeah, thank you. Appreciate that. Sad we couldn't get like them doing actual like new lines, but Uhura, Nichelle Nichols hadn't passed away at this point, I don't think. And Odo was gone. Scotty was gone. Leonard Nimoy was gone. But Crusher was back as Crusher before Picard Season 3. Worth pointing that out. So, and just the frustration he had dealing with the Kobayashi Maru, ramping up or changing the difficulty levels, seeing all those different ways he tried to solve it, and the Kobayashi Maru thing fighting back. Even when he did kind of win, he still destroyed the Enterprise. So, yeah, this is just hilariously awesome fun, and I really enjoy it. Plus, that thumbnail, just you got TNG and TOS in the same goddamn picture. You got the ship, you got Uhura, you got DS9 in there with Odo. Like, come on now. It's just dripping with Trekkie goodness. Boom, done.
And
there
it
you go.
all made sense. Oh, that is an achievement by itself.
Yep.
Because those things are hard to balance.
Mm-hmm.
And this was funny because this is obviously going to be on our lists because it's just so fantastic. But it was the first episode of 2022. So if it had been one earlier, we couldn't have said
Ooh.
it. I was like,
Yeah,
yes,
when I opened
phew.
the folder and it's like, but all of season 1's not here, and I'm like, no, okay. Oh, I know what he's doing. Okay.
Yeah. I was very happy about that because this would have been a real sucker to not include on the list. Yeah. Spectre, it is the Kobayashi Maru. It is a freighter design that was... It's kind of one from the J.J. Abrams, but it's kind of a fan design that we think they kind of nicked a bit and melded them. And yeah, that was a bit of a weird one at the time. It's like, it's mostly a fan one.
Yeah.
But also it's not very hard to design separately.
There's a few different iterations of the Kobayashi Maru. There's a Kelvin one, there's a fan one, there's a John Eves one, and there's Thomas Maroney's one from Star Trek.
And they're all
Online.
great. They tend to pick this one.
Yep.
But it's clearly a picture because there's only one shot of it.
Yeah, we could actually, I think we compared the picture to the actual shot. So, and Donnie says, I love this live stream. Well, thank you, Donnie. We love you too.
But is it a 10 out of 10?
Yes, this episode of Trekyards a 10 out of 10. According to Super Chats, not so much.
Yes.
Plus, I more likely to get to 50, guys.
Yeah, hard for us to get this load normally. It's
Well, I mean, it is right before Christmas. So
I get it. That's why we're doing it as well, though.
I know, but thank you, Mark. Liberation President, sir.
My number 4, though, is Balance of Terror 2.
Quality of Mercy.
Balance of Terror 2. This is such a good episode of Strange New Worlds. I'll remove it from the universe for a second because it's actually a great episode of the show itself. It's big, it's bold, it's thematic, it's utilising more of a TOS vibe, which helps it actually grow a bit. Double Pike, Double Spock, very crass female prime president. Well, you start breaking down plot holes, it's a problem because there would not be a Praetor in a cloaked ship outside the border which devalue all advanced terror. But we're going to ignore the plot holes for a second because it's an alternate universe. Fine. But it's really... luckily I managed to avoid spoilers for this one, but going in, you're wondering how far they're going to take it. And when you start realising, oh shit, they keep going. A few things you'd obviously change as a Trek fan to make it more in line. Simple, small, tiny things, terrible British design, etc. There's a few really big sore Fs in it, but the amount of A's and B's in this is great, and the boldness of just remake an episode is absurdly bold. Yep. I wouldn't even necessarily have done that, and I'm pretty bold when it comes to storytelling for Star Trek stuff. And have it be a meta narrative as well of Christmas past. I still wish we hadn't had the shitty Wrath of Khan Stranger Worlds gross uniform, and I do not appreciate people prefer that to the other one. It's infinitely inferior. If the concept art was different, because they knew whatever. Ugh, it's wet. It looks wet. It's gross.
Yeah.
Batting on point, and to see a more TOS Spock was fantastic. His haircut, his everything was great, and really solid, really solid. And it was longer as well. I recall, so it actually felt like a movie. It was like 58, 59 minutes. It was especially long, and it was really good.
Mm-hmm.
For ending your season, great start, great end. That's a hell of a thing. And that's me saying this. We both love TOS, and to have this be a remake of TOS episode done in the Stranger Worlds art design as number 4. That must be a good episode then, because you'd obviously judge that higher because it's a remake as well. So Yes. Good job.
Well, there was so much good writing and stuff included in this one. If you take the aesthetic out of it and some of the problems, like
Yeah.
the Romulans, there's a few issues with the Romulan ships and them having a quantum singularity drive on that ship. But whatever. Nobody noticed that, don't you know? Just a display in the background. But anyway, yeah, it was a fantastic
Petridge
episode.
Farm. Noticed, yep.
Trekyards remembers.
Petridge Farm, yep.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to be talking about this at some point, maybe in the future. Maybe tomorrow I'll mention this one.
Okay, interesting.
So anyway, yeah, my biggest gripe with this one was the casting of Paul Wesley as Kirk. And everybody in the world, he looks like Jim Carrey. It's like, okay, yeah, sure. Yeah, I'll talk more about it when I get to it on my list. Assuming it's on my list.
Yeah.
But
Squadron Course. Hi, how's it all going? He's stuck in the Houston airport for 7 hours.
oh, that happens all the time. Sorry to hear that, man.
I mean, that's
That
terrible.
sucks. Yeah, it is, but it happens all the time.
But that's literally a day of wasted.
Yep.
I mean, well, I assume that was planned because you can't have hotels that almost like loses you an entire day of whatever hotel you booked. Ugh.
It wouldn't be planned. Sooner or later, could be planned, but
If it's not planned,
but
then
my
it
buddy
could
Dan,
be
who was
the...
flying to out home to Nova Scotia or Newfoundland, like last month, got to the airport like his plane came in 15 minutes late, so he missed his other flight. So they got him a hotel. He had to stay at the hotel overnight, and it was just a pain in the ass.
But at least you're at the hotel. At least you're at the airport, though. Like that.
Yeah, but he was just still in the airport for like 3 or 4 hours till they managed to get him the hotel, and it was just a pain in the ass.
Was it a shitty hotel, like a a good airline?
I didn't ask him. I think it was a standard hotel.
We're gonna get you a
Nothing.
sex motel, like high quality sex
Vibrating.
motel.
Vibrating. Yes.
Dear me, dear me. Okay, now bronze, silver, and gold.
Silver and gold. Perfect time of the year for that.
Which is why I drove Vienna, right? Now, were these three then the obvious 1, 2, and 3? The ones you knew, or was there a bit of jiggery pokery to make this work?
There's a bit of jiggery pokery. Like, they're going to be up there. They're going to be up there. I just didn't know how I would quite rank them. Even now, I'm questioning my number one. Number 1 and 2 are kind of interchangeable, but
I mean, you have a couple of minutes to you could retcon yourself
no,
just
I'm
by
not gonna do
screwing me
that.
over and saying the wrong thing. Like, you know, if you want to...
No, I'm not going to do that.
Okay.
Bribes have been paid, so I need to keep number 1 at number 1.
Interesting.
What? No, I'm just kidding. No, these were pretty much going to be in these slots.
Okay.
And
Okay.
I kept looking for other episodes that might bump things,
Yeah.
and it just didn't quite happen.
Okay. That's exciting. I like the...
Yeah.
Okay, your number 3, bronze.
My number 3 is Lower Deck Season 3, Episode 6.
Huh.
Here, I'll Trust Nothing. The new DS9 episode. I thought it might have been higher, but
Higher than 3, Stuart? There's almost nothing higher than 3.
Anyway,
It's very high to give out, just in general.
great episode returning to DS9. We talked about this. It just felt like another DS9 episode. The Kira Shax thing was fantastic. Just seeing the station, Quark back. The Tendi Orion thing, wasn't my favorite, but we got to see her kick ass for was this before Paradoxix? Yes, it was. So we got to see her like true Orion pirate family vibes coming
Well, this was
out.
the setup for that.
Yeah. And also the setup for the whole Buen Amigo Texas class thing, because this is where he sent Captain Freeman there to fail in these negotiations and look bad. But I wish the episode was longer. I wish there was more to it. But I really enjoyed everything that was there. They really packed it in. Great visuals, of course. Yeah. what else to say? Felt like coming home, like I said. It was just a new episode of DS9. It was fun. Having Kira back was awesome. I never thought I'd say that because I never liked Kira. But I've learned to appreciate her a lot more over the years. So she's a good character now. So boom, baby. Plus all the interiors of DS9 look great. It's just the return to even that lighting that they use, the darker lighting, it all works so well on this episode. So yeah.
And it's not on my list at all, Stuart.
Really?
Because it's too much of a DS9 episode. There's not enough extra else in it.
Wow.
Like, I can't give a Lower Decks episode a top rating for being a DS9 episode. It's not doing what it's doing enough.
The top 10 episodes of Trek in 2022. This includes Lower Decks and DS9, and this is not Trek enough for you to be on your list?
No, it's not. It's not Lower Decks.
You fail as a YouTube
Star Trek comment. It's not a good. It's not the best Lower Decks episode because it's a DS9 episode, and it's an okay DS9 episode. It's just in the context of when we saw it, it's great because it's great to see DS9 again. But it's not a great DS9 episode, and it's not a great Lower Decks episode, but it's an interesting hybrid. So no, it's not in my top 10. It hasn't enough going for it in itself.
I'm ashamed.
It's like an amusement park. It's like, oh, that's nice. Oh, that's nice.
That's fair.
But yeah, I
I'm
mean,
still ashamed to know you.
But also, this also is begging to be a 40-minute episode.
Oh yeah, that's what I said. It should be longer.
Because when you give Armin and Nana actual parts,
yeah.
You throw Boimler as a cameo. Like, he's a cameo this week. And that's fine, because you need them to be. But you get him for that much. Brilliant. Just double the length. You know. Yeah. But no, it's not on my list for this year.
Wow.
Because it's relying on other stuff to be good. That's not good itself. Which is funny, because yes, Stranger Worlds also is that, but it's also 100% new, which is some of the problems. But it's actually... Yeah, it's in my head anyway. But okay, cool. I didn't think it'd be... I thought it'd be maybe 9 for yours. Cool, okay. My number 3 then, Stu, what is... The Spock Amok.
Wow. That was my number 10. We haven't had any overlap, really, have we?
Nope.
Well, yeah, The Penance, episode 2.
Yeah, this and this one are both in... This one is such a good episode on all the fields. This was a shock to us both. Also recreating TOS scene, also bold of them, and very well done. Both actors are fantastic, both characters are fantastic, which are both different notes in this for some reason. It makes me like Pring even more. Pike's great, the aliens are great. Sosa's fine, but good overall. Space Station's fine, but good overall. Uhura's underused, which is just how she should be in this episode. It's not forced. Hemmer's not in it, I don't really think at all. Number 1, have the fun bit where oh no, what?
Squadron Course. What you just said about the DS9 episode. That's the opposite of it's a bit shit, but I like it. It's a bit good, but I hate it.
Okay.
Thanks, Squadron Course. That made me laugh.
But this one's really well written, really well constructed. Brain swaps it hard. And the other thing that it suffers is the ending. It's just so easy to undo it. It becomes so non... But that means they spend more time on the fun versus the... You know, if you spend 10 minutes thinking about the solution, you don't have 10 minutes of the fun. Really quality episode. And this is... I can't remember. I think it's my favourite of the season, I guess. By this, like, enjoyment factor. I would put this one on over the Dark one, but that has so many good filmic things that it wins.
Dark one?
The TOS remake.
Yeah.
Like, that is so high also, even though it's not as fun to watch because it does everything else so well. And this episode, this Bakamok, even successfully makes we just went to a lakefront to meet that Vulcan on a chessboard look good.
Yeah.
And it is just like we just went to and filmed, but the way they did it worked, which does not always work. Discovery, it doesn't work often. This, it did. So good job them. Really strong episode.
Wow. Your bronze, your 3rd place. Wow, I'm impressed.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, I've already kind of said my piece about it. it was a really fun episode. Absolutely, 100%. And the acting was fantastic in it.
Yeah.
So,
The acting and the writing were both on point, and that is what Star Trek should be, or is often at its core. And when it does both, yep, good job.
All right, guys.
Ooh,
Coming up to gold and silver, but
we had 3
we
super
only have
chats, which is weird.
I know. We only have 46 likes, and yeah, as he said, only 3 super chats.
In an hour and a half.
That is really weird.
Yeah.
But it is Christmas time. I kind of get it, but at the same time, if you can, please do. You know, but hit that like button at least. That should be easy to do. That also helps us out. So help us out any way you can.
And I mean, let us know your favorite episode as well of this year, because it's a fun metric to judge, just because it's a sort of segment how you where you think about what. Yeah, it's a fun one to decipher. Okay, your silver medal.
The silver medal is Strange New World, Season 1, Episode 10, Quality of Mercy.
You were joking. That's good. Okay, you threw me off with that one. I bought it. I believed you. Good job. Okay.
Really? You know me better than that.
No, but I thought it'd be 10, and you'd say some sort of weird comment on it, like for this reason, but just number 10. Okay.
It was brilliant.
Okay.
The retelling of Balance of Terror, but from a little different perspective. I mean, there's so much great in this episode, and there's a few things that just kind of are a bit shit, as you might say.
There's some real shit stinkers in this, but the rest is great.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of the new Kirk, honestly, but this is a different Kirk because it's a different timeline. So there's that. I'm just going to point out the bad because there's way more good than there is bad.
Briefly, and it's we have this thing with fan films. When you approach Kirk, are you approaching a William Shatner impression, or a Kirk character? So so you can choose, which means he might be more faithful to the Kirk character, but he's not channeling any of Shatner. That's the thing about it, the balance.
This made me appreciate Chris Pine's Kirk way more, because that's
and
more
Shatner
of the
more.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know. I'm not the biggest fan of him. Hopefully, he's better in season 2 or different. But he just doesn't have the screen presence or the gravitas to really pull off Kirk, in my opinion.
He felt like Guy.
Yeah. 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 Also, the Farragut being the wrong ship, a little bit of a stinker. It should have been a Constitution class. They should have swapped this ship out with the one from the Gorn episode. That was the... Oh, I forget the name of the class.
Who cares? It's stupid. Don't remember it. It's dumb.
Made with Constitution class parts. Well, okay. What? Anyway, the Farragut should have been Constitution class. Not a big deal, but anyway, there's that.
Still a fuck up, though.
Yeah, the quantum singularity drive thing. Overall, though, fantastic episode. I loved revisiting this and seeing how Pike would have handled it and how it would have been totally different, yet the same. And some of the updated, like, seeing the comet thing, but not from the TOS perspective, but of an visual updated, was fantastic as well. There's so much gold in this episode. It almost hit number 1. This one was number 1 in my mind initially, but something kind of bumped it, and you'll understand why when I show you. But anyhow, I don't know what else to say. This is just a fantastic episode.
I think if this had been in a show that was actually looked like TOS visual update versus a TOS, we're sort of trying, but we're also saying let's do our own thing. Like if it actually looked 30% more TOS, you know, this could have been like the one for the last year happily. But it's like you've got to watch it with the lens of, well, it's not really how it looked. Like it's not really. It's like it's annoying to do that, you know.
Yeah, Mark Lawrence says it's an alternate universe, so the Farragut could be a different class. I'll buy that, sure. There's some problems with the Romulan fleet being so close as well, with the Praetor or the whatever. I mean, there's a few little things that just. Yes, that's the whole thing, is that it's a different universe, it's an alternate reality, it's a different timeline. So fine, cool.
It's like even saying the Praetors are a female, like that can also be thrown out potentially. Like nothing in the episode can be taken as lore, because that's the caveat they make.
Yeah, and also the Romulans having the ridges. I wish there was just one that didn't.
Mm-hmm.
They all had the ridges. Didn't need that, especially for this episode. Sebastian, €5. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
It looks like everyone's being a cheap Ferengi. Here's some Latinum for a bit of Xmas joy. Would the Ferengi be Trek's Grinches? Yes.
I mean, you can buy good stuff from Ferengi too. I mean, they can... you buy a lot of cool stuff from them.
I know, but they'll try to rip you off and scam you the whole time. And then, they're going to charge you extra, twice as much as... Anyway.
Well, who are you going to get from otherwise, Stuart?
I don't know. Whoever this next ad is, this next sponsor.
Right.
Just love the fluidity with which we go into those ad segments.
Yeah,
because they just pop up on our screen saying, oh, it looks like a good time for an ad. So we're like, okay.
Well, yes, they're not our overlords at all, are they?
No.
Well,
but they make us go.
They do make us go.
Kind of.
Yeah. While
ripping us off. They're kind of like Ferengis themselves. YouTube.
Boy, that has there any more truth ever been said, Stuart? Okay, your number 2. What did I say was my number 2? Let's find out. My number 2 is Picard Season 2, Episode 1. Because this shit was on fire. I mean, and yes, the trailer was cool and whatever, but we went in, and it's like, even for the first scene, it's good. Picard felt like Picard for the first time since Nemesis, because he was so un-Picardian in the other one. And this shit got universal praise. I mean, there was actually press about this episode. There were news articles being written for all sorts of sites saying Star Trek is back. Patrick feels like Picard. Like, that was... Everyone believed this. Which tells you there's a zeitgeist of this shit was golden. Everyone got it. And then it clusterfucked even harder, as we know. But it's a great ship design. Uniform were good. Mostly. Picard's uniform looked good as well. He's stronger. He's got more presence. Jurati's good. Rios is great. Seven's good and not being her stupid season 1 mopey bullshit forced character moment stuff. And everyone's strong. There's a good Admiral scene. There's a good the ending is on fire with the DHQ. It's not a CG face, but that is great. It's a ride. It's a start of a roller coaster that absolutely throws you everything, promising everything, apologizing for everything. Except then the guy left to make season 3 and it all fell apart like a big pile of shit. But this is gold standard, and I kind of wish we'd just seen episode 1 and 10 and cut out everything in the middle and just
1, 2, and 10.
Well, no, because you have to have had then more story. I'm just saying this and that anything in between could have been a movie and it would have been a fine movie, like taking out everything from the middle. A bit of a weird thing. Picard goes meets the Borg, and also just plot holiness. Like, why would they blow up the ship the first time? It's Jurati. Why does Jurati blow up the ship? Like, she killed them all. Like, she did kill them all.
Picard killed them all by ordering self-destruct because he didn't understand what she was doing.
Sure.
She didn't relay that.
But she could have taken the helmet off.
Yes. Which she does in the last episode. It's like, do that in the beginning.
Like, Q had to save them because the ship blew up. So Droid did let them all die. That wasn't time paradox shit. That was she could have made a choice to do something and save them, because that was the second time she lived the experience where she could have then done her own thing.
Yeah.
Because the ship blew up. Like, they failed, and then the beam would have killed lots of planets. There was a real cluster F of story breakage when that sort of logic is just not there. And when you know the end, you write it into the start. And if they filmed this at the end of the season, which I'm guessing they probably did, if they weren't going to sit on their hands and do a Stargazer set for 7 weeks, 10 weeks of filming, I assume they filmed this back to back with the last episode, because why would you do...
Yeah, they did. They would have been building the Stargazer set while they filmed the middle part of the season. Yeah. And then filmed all this good stuff at the end. Yeah.
You'd assume so. Which is weird then, because then Captain Rios filmed his goodbye and then filmed his I'm Epic. I don't know. I'll have to ask Terry how they filmed it, because it's such a... a disconnect. Weird. Yeah, just it got a zeitgeist in the community of this is epic.
Yeah.
And no other episode I think has done that, except Stranger Worlds. Probably the first episode and the last episode. I think those two in a similar vein, but not as strong because it's a reboot.
Yeah.
Versus.
Oh yeah, the hype was up. Like you saw the Dave Blast tweets
Yeah.
about everything, and then it's like even episode 2, you're like, okay, cool, we're still getting a lot of cool, and then it's just Picard hype. What Picard? What's that? What?
It's like Terry, why did you leave? Because it. Well, I mean, season 3 is cooler. Obviously, it's what we know, but it's just like, oof. I mean, is there any other single season of Star Trek where it shits the bed so hard after a strong start? I assume this has got to be the biggest example of that.
Yep, I think it is. Yeah.
Because it's almost better if they had just have started with an okay episode, because it wouldn't have gone very far. But showing you can make gold and they're making trash, that's on them. But we know why, because the guy left. Like, he wrote it, and he left. Like, we know why.
Yep.
Oi, Stuart. Oi.
Ozzy, though, throws in $2 and says, bless you, skeletons.
Yes. Okay, now, guys, vote now. What do you think is going to be Stuart's number 1? If you're following intently, you'll know his 10. What do you think his number 1 is? That is a question that I want answers to. And also finish the poll. We have 49 votes, Stuart. Which was better? I asked you all, because in the last poll, Star Trek Picard lost the poll with a staggering 3% of the votes. So I was trying to go with what you thought was best, the worst of the last poll, and Discovery Season 4.
He's dying, everyone. Yeah.
So the results are, the worst of the last poll managed to garner 76% of this poll, with 24% saying Discovery. So if Discovery had been in that poll, it would have been 0 guaranteed. What do you think?
No, one person would have voted for it.
But it still would have been 0% though, because I have a ratio, I think. I feel there must be a way of 0%
I mean,
one vote.
At least you have things you recognize in Picard Season 2, like Picard and 7, Q.
Which is not bad.
Yeah, exactly. Brent Spiner. Like, I understand why this wins over Discovery, honestly. So.
Do we actually have to review Season 5, Stuart? Do we actually have to?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm not looking forward to it based on that trailer, though.
No.
Tangerine Star 26 says Captain Rios was the most interesting character there. So well played. He, of all of them, deserves a series Stargazer. How would that actor feel? Knowing exactly what they filmed, what the storyline was, and after the first episode, everybody's like, we want a Captain Rios Stargazer series. I would have been like, oh, I'm so sorry.
But I died of dysentery in a fight in a bar that one time in the past.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's funny because the last guy, who people say they want a show of, they gave him a 2-season run of a show. And some mounts.
Yeah.
Didn't work for this guy, and it's sad because a lot of the time they told us we wanted an Empress Giorgio show, and we're like, no.
Oh,
and it's been many years, not been made. They didn't tell us we wanted a Pike show. They made a Pike show because we said yes. Just saying, like, it's funny that, as if the fans know, at least the fans in a big general sense. Yeah.
And you kept calling too during the middle of the season. I think Rios is going to stay, and I'm like, he's not going to stay. He's not going to stay. That's just stupid. It's going to look like he's going to stay, but he's not going to stay. God damn it.
Yeah, it could have gone many ways.
Yeah. Well, guys, any suggestions as to what our number 1 might be?
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to see some. Even a super chat war would be great right now because we're just barely above 0.25% of what we need for our minimum. So
not enough for a cup of coffee, really, is it?
Depends where you go, I guess.
It's a bag of coffee in the supermarket. Each.
Yeah.
Yes. But do still join for the worst episode. It is funnier to bitch, so of course tune in for the worst. But you know we have done Picard, Prodigy, Lower Decks, and Stranger Worlds all in our top 10 list. So there is a nice balance. There's a nice subset here. We'll see what factors in next week or tomorrow. I mean.
Well, there's been no discovery in either one of our lists.
No, there has not.
I wonder why that is.
I wonder why. Stuart, what is your number one best episode of season 2022?
I'm probably going to get some heat from you, but I really don't give a shit. It's Prodigy, season 1, episode 13. All the world the stage.
Oh my god.
As you said earlier, fun episode, fantastically paced, great TOS visuals. The TOS hooked me. Getting in tie-in with Ensign Garavik. I mean, that's also very cool. Yes, we had questions. Why was he the only one on the shuttle? Why did the shuttle crash? Why did the Enterprise look for it? Blah, 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 blah. Why is it the Galileo, not the Galileo 2? It all makes sense when you talk to Aaron and he gives you the answers that they figured out, because as we've learned when we talk to him, they do talk about this stuff. And it's going to cause problems. Do we have an answer? Yes, we do. Can we fit in the episode? No, not so much. Well, at least we have an answer. So I appreciate all the work that was put into this. The visual look of TOS back was fantastic. As you know, kind of a TOS sucker. The only thing I really hated was the uniform on the wall changing, which made no sense. Even Aaron's explanation was, bah. And I balked at him too for the whole upside down Prometheus class and his excuses for that. It's like, no, sir, that doesn't fly. And he
you get many points from us, but also you will not get that one. No, good sir.
He kind of admitted it was a fuck up. So,
which is good to do, as I always said.
Yes.
It's a strong man that can say it slipped through. Because it's an animated TV show, things slip through. You're allowed to say that.
Yeah. But no, this even the tie-ins, like the spiritual successor, as he said, to Piece of the Action, was great. The Enterprisians with the log and proper. I can't even fucking do it. There you go. It was fun to see. I just wish that we had some more answers in it. I wish it was a little bit longer. I wish we got a few clarifications on things. Would have been great. But I just love the tie-in with TOS and an actual character from the episode Obsession, Ensign Garavik. It was great to hear. So,
I didn't remember at all, so that fell flat to me when I watched it.
Oh, I recognized that right away.
But now when I watch TOS, we're like, oh, I know how you died.
Yeah.
Radiation poisoning.
But yes, corrupted a whole culture of people. Good job.
Yes, you did good, sir. You did good. Now, so is this number one just because for the first time in 14, 20 years, TOS is back? Is that really the reason?
It's one of the big reasons. Seeing those visuals of the TOS style bridge behind Dal was fucking great, I gotta say. Dal's been on the Enterprise D bridge and basically the TOS bridge as well. Sat in both of those captain's chairs.
Oh, what a prick. Yeah.
I know, right? That's why I wish the holodeck episode was better. I wish he was redoing the Kobayashi Maru on like maybe the Enterprise A or just the refit.
Or maybe Janeway says, maybe try learning on my ship. Voyager.
Yeah.
Oh, that would have been good.
So, I don't know. There's a lot about this. Like I said, the pacing, the story tie-ins with TOS, the visuals, the Piece of the Action type vibe. It's just great. I don't know. I get that some others might be definitely better structured story-wise or whatever, but for pure enjoyment and how I felt and how many times I watched this one, and each time it just didn't get old, I was like, yes. So that's why it's my number one. As I said, a lot goes into my rankings as far as being a favorite or how it made me feel or whatever. So, yeah.
Well, like I said, this was one of those times where they're juggling the legacy of the 60s, which has all the baggage and good stuff with it.
You can't show that on TV these days. No one will buy it.
Exactly. Yep. They said, fuck you, and just did it anyway. And it was perfect.
Yep.
They juggled modern stuff, all the characters, giving Dal a story plot, giving Gwen... that is a writing challenge, and they achieved it. That's the biggest thing. And I said that the cherry on top is the fact it was a Galileo and it looked like Galileo. There's so many ways they could have fallen down and still be great, but they kept going to the narratively yet fan web doing it, like making the bridge what it was. But then it is hilarious to watch that battle at the end of the sequence and see them entirely get the bridge set up wrong. They keep swapping between the consoles have disappeared and they're there.
Yeah.
Every other shot. It's a they really. I mean, they've made so many visual mistakes this season. It's really kind of astounding, actually. That scene is terrible with them. Clearly, two artists worked on that sequence, and they each didn't realize the other was removing them or not. Like that's obviously that's just what happened because there's no other reason it would be that wrong. It's hilarious. Truly hilarious.
Well, what's not hilarious is a super chat from Jasper Jedi.
That's true.
$20.
Oh.
Thank you so much. I'll have to go with episode 1 of Strange New Worlds as my number one. Nothing beat the way I felt watching that episode after the lines of Discovery and Picard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's also true. Like I said,
I said it at the time too. It felt like going back to TOS. The story structure, everything about it.
Positive characters, not being dark and bitchy. A good vibe. Yeah, professionals, doing well, having fun, being Starfleet. It's not rocket science to make a good Star Trek. It is not rocket science. They did it for 30 years. With some bad in between, but for the most part, Trek's good. Like, for the most part. So it's a shockingly consistent, It's like if you, the old joke about Star Wars, it might have lots of movies, but most of them are bad. Like, there are only so many good Star Wars movies, because if you look at them, people say, well, at least there's 3 of them that are good. And there's another chap that said, by the numbers, I'm not a Star Wars or Matrix fan. Because I dislike 3 out of the 4 Matrix films, and I dislike 6 out of the 9 Star Wars films. So by the numbers, he's not a Star Wars fan. But the ones that are good are really good.
Yeah.
So it's funny when you say it like that.
Yeah. Oh, Squadron Course's comment. Did a good job of fan service without taking it too far for the episode's concept.
Well, things they took it as far as they could have, but the genius of the story meant you needed to.
Yep.
That's the great thing about it. It's just achievement. It's just clever. Oh, I want to do TOS the episode. Okay, let's work out a story that fits around it. It's not actually how it was done, but
So Aaron is number 1 and number 4 on my list. So
I mean that's
like I said, the bribe has been accepted.
Dear me.
Oh, wait a minute. No, I'm just kidding.
My number 1 though, and this was an instant number 1 for me.
Okay.
I didn't. Oh, do you have a guess?
DS9 episode. Oh wait, no.
That would have been a fun trick if I'd tricked you.
I have no idea, honestly.
Ooh. This was my instant number 1 when I thought of this. I couldn't do another number 1. My number 1 is Kobayashi.
Oh, my number 4.
Yes.
Aaron Wolke comes in first place for both our lists. Hope he watches this. You need to tell him. You need to message him.
I'll have to send him this time code. Yeah. Of the year. Beating dozens of writers. And we did not conspire whatsoever. So this for me is functionally the best of the season because it manages to achieve a stonkingly good A story while being integratingly referential, but it entirely serves the plot. Entirely. The other one, there's a bit... they literally watch a play about it. There's a few little things like that where it's like, okay, this is entirely functional and yet able to throw everything in and it works because it's a true Dahl grows up story. And he was not a great character the whole time. This gave him so much depth by learning how to be in command, learning the nature of there aren't always good choices, etc., etc. The boldness of using voice lines is just astounding, and it pays off great. Character model is fantastic, and whereas D-Bridge, great, if not weird. I mean, just those L cards are wrong. I mean, just flat wrong.
Yeah.
There's no purple there, so... But they're creative, fine, whatever. The fact they keep throwing us new stuff, Birds of Prey, both a Bird of Prey with wings up and down, if you go... one frame error, I hope they don't fix on Blu-ray, because it's fantastic. And it's a new version. They designed a new Bird of Prey that no one noticed. The Klingons, first time...
We noticed.
Yes, we did. The first time Klingons back in their proper form in not 2D animation look great. And I've seen that guy in every other episode so far this season because he keeps coming. Same guy. He's everywhere.
Yeah.
We see Enterprise D. On the exterior, we see the Maru. We see really, really creative stuff. I don't remember the B plot.
Was there one?
Oh, yeah. I know it was good. I don't know what it was, though. Because that's a single him story. I think it was a group story. What was it? How do I find out?
Let me take a look while you talk.
Thank you. Yeah, but... And also, the pace was super good. Because that is really important. The end scene... Pardon me. The end scene with the camera rotation and the music is weird as hell, but it works. The fact that, yeah, they built the Bird of Prey bridge. I told you all they'd see a Burrell bridge again. Because they built it for the episode. And the Blows of the D is very exciting and fun. And then, you know, the long since dead Leonard Nimoy gives advice to Dahl. Like you said, what a dick the actor gets all these cool things. Nimoy gets taught to him as a bloody actor and character. Bloody hell. You know, on script, Nimoy says this. Yeah. You know, and it would have been acceptable if annoying if it had been Quinto or Ethan Peck. Understandable, but they went full hog canon proper, and it's respect and you know brilliant. Right, what was the B plot, Stuart? Oh, do you want to find it?
Yeah, it's about Gwen and the Diviner and finding out the purpose that why she was created.
Oh, good.
Learned about the cloning process and yeah. I don't know. That's all I could glean from it. So.
Huh. Okay.
Anyhow, and the AC/DC music, yes, Ozzy, that was great too. But yeah, I'm glad it's so high on your list. I'm glad it's on. And I should have known with the way you said, if it hadn't been released in this year, wouldn't have been able to use it. Would have been a real shame. I should have known. God damn. Oh well. No, it's good that both our number ones are prodigies.
Yeah. It's yeah.
Okay, so Squadron Course asked, so out of both top tens, how many from each show?
Yes.
All right, hold on.
Oh yeah, I can.
I got 2 prodigies, 3 Strange New Worlds, 2 Picards, and 2 Lower Decks.
Wow. Yeah. So to reiterate, Stranger Worlds at 10, Stranger Worlds at 9, Lower Decks at 8, Lower Decks at 7, Picard. Wow, this is Picard at 6, Picard at 5. That is okay. Prodigy at 6, at 4, Lower Decks at 3, Stranger Worlds at 2, Prodigy at 1. Can't be a 2, 2, and 2. That's funny. Huh. And I had Lower Decks at 10, Prodigy at 9, Prodigy at 8, Stranger Worlds at 7, Lower Decks at 6, Picard at 5, Stranger Worlds at 4, Stranger Worlds at 3, Picard at 2, and Prodigy at 1. So mine's pretty separating out. So I had overall, I had 2 Lower Decks, I had 3 Prodigy, I had 3 Stranger Worlds, 2 Picards. Oh, okay.
And no Discovery on anybody's list.
I don't even remember them. Like I said, the only one that was going to be on my list until I read the B plot, I hadn't said this yet, but it's the one episode where Burnham talks to the council and tries to get Vulcan back into the Federation, and they're on Vulcan. Thank you. Like really good stuff, really good speeches. The fact that Saru goes talk to the president, really great. But the B plot was Tilly crash landing a ship and trying to work with the teens to work together. And it's okay. They're fine. They're not good. The other stuff is really good. Burnham, like really, really solid. And the other's okay. Every episode here has much better overall pacing. That was close. That probably would have made my third honorable mention, but like the other bit was just so okay. It's just I can't give it for that, you know?
Yeah.
All right. Do you guys agree with our list?
Hit that like button. You need one more like to get to 60.
And $6 more will round us out to not very much, but it'll round us out. Yes. And tune tomorrow for our Bitch Fest. I mean, top 10 worst episodes of 2022. Are we going to see more Prodigy and Lower Decks represented? Who knows? Who knows?
That's a good question, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's just going to be Discovery. Picard.
I've got to reread Discovery and Picard just to know where the lines are, you know? Like where the stories take breaks, I mean, because I don't necessarily remember where the intersection points are. Which is the problem. If you've got an overarching story and they're not good and they bleed, it doesn't go well. Versus like Enterprise Season 3, I wouldn't necessarily be able to name all 22 in a row, but I could definitely like subdivide it way more than Picard. If like that's probably the first 3, next 3.
Yeah.
You know, I could probably work that out relatively effectively. But like, I think episode 6 is the stupid.
We might have to have a brainstorm session in the morning to work out what's in what episode, because I'm not going to fucking research it.
Oh.
I'm just going to look at the titles and go, oh, nope. I don't want to do that necessarily. I don't have the time tonight to watch them all either.
Oh, no.
Plus, why would I torture myself?
Well, we actually didn't do retrospect because we so shit. Like,
That's
we
true.
just didn't do it. Like, didn't want to do it. And Picard was hard enough.
Tangerine Star 26. Does this mean that animation is given more freedom than live action? Yep.
Somebody would say on Picard, you can't show TOS. No, you can't. And both Prodigy and Lodex just do. So, that tells you. Oh, Squadra! You're 6.5 hours early. You had a 7-hour layover, but it took him an hour to do it. Time travel, Stuart, I guess. Okay. Have a good one.
Enjoy.
Yeah.
Safe flight. Safe travels.
Yes.
All right, guys, we're going to call it there, I guess.
Mm-hmm. It was fun, though. It's good to chat with you.
If anybody watching this after the fact, if you want a super thanks to make up the super chat lack, that would be great.
Mm-hmm.
We'd appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we hit our 60 likes and stuff, so that's awesome.
And that was interesting, because I did not know what you're going to pick. I was obviously wrong. What do you think about my list?
I'm surprised. Very surprised by a lot of them. I expected more of the ones I picked to be on there, but hey. I kind of like that we don't just agree on everything. So.
Mm-hmm. Although we do have most of the same. Just the outliers of how we justify it. Although I imagine our worst will be quite different. Like what pisses us off more.
Yeah.
I would assume.
Yeah.
Yeah. It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting.
It will be interesting, that's for sure. Oh, good God.
So have a great rest of your day, Stuart. And you all as well. And we'll see you tomorrow. Normal time, normal place. Until then, he is Captain Foley.
And he is Commander Goggins. Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys.